Come on, team. We've got a busy day ahead of us if you want to find the Lupus Redcap.
So, Damian, how did he get roped into Chris's annual mushroom gathering gala?
Extravaganza? Gala. Pfft. Ooh, a hocus McPocus.
Let's leave the magic mushrooms alone this time, Chris. I don't want a repeat of what happened last time with Grandma and the cat.
So, how did he get roped into Chris's annual mushroom gathering extravaganza?
I'm still asking myself the same question, Salim. Chris is persistent. How do you know Chris and his mad religious family of Bible bashers?
From church.
And of course, Bible bashing is a great... Church? Seriously?
Yeah. Becoming a Christian wasn't my parents' first choice.
A wee willy winky.
But I started reading the Bible. It got me questioning.
Yeah, me too. Any tricky questions I can catch Holly out with?
Heard that.
One thing I asked a lot was how the Bible was put together. Muslims say the Quran was revealed to one man by God. But that's not how the Bible was put together.
I heard it was decided by the church fat cats which books would go in the Bible. So it was them that got to decide what the church believed or didn't.
Well, not exactly. Have you come across the phrase canon of scripture?
Canon, as in boom?
I'm explosive like a boom boom, like a boom boom boom.
Same word. The canon is just a list of the books in the Bible, and scripture is the writings we would call God's word.
The canon of scripture was decided by the Council of Nicaea about 400 years after Jesus. They argued over which books should be in the Bible, and eventually it was decided based on a vote. Ooh, a belly button mushroom.
Thanks, Chris. Actually, that's wrong. Lots of people say that about the Bible. Actually, they didn't talk about the canon at the Council of Nicaea at all. Sorry, is this interesting for you?
Yeah, go on, mate. We've got time.
The way it was explained to me is that there were two other councils.
Council? Like Croydon Council?
Groups of important church leaders. They got together to finalize the canon. The first was the Damian Council, and there was another one in Carthage in 397 AD to say, yeah, we think the Damian Council got it right.
So the beardy bishops were fighting about which books were the right ones?
Well, their beards probably weren't that long. And it was less debate and more about officially recognizing the books that were in or out.
Recognizing?
By the time of the council, there were a few questions about some of the books, like 2 Peter and James, but most of the books were already widely accepted. So the two councils, Damian and Carthage, 397 AD, just said, yep, these ones are the official Bible books, but not these ones. The rest may have some good things in them, but they're not a scripture.
That was weird.
But how did they decide which was the right one?
Damian, the way they chose the canon was like sorting mushrooms into edible and poisonous. Does me putting this mushroom in the poisonous pile make it poisonous?
No.
Exactly. I'm just recognizing what's there already.
And it's important not to get one in the wrong box. The councils were careful to make sure they got it right.
A Norwegian madcap. Astonishing.
But how did they decide this is a good one and this is poisonous? Did they just read them and say, I like what this one says, I don't like this one?
Well, as Sal says, there was a general consensus about most of the books in the Bible by the early 2nd century. And when the councils came to confirm it, they had strict tests.
It had to be written by an apostle, early church leader, or the follower of an apostle, who had a direct connection with the teaching of Jesus.
I think this is an Eversusha fungi. Do you think it looks a bit like me?
That's a dog poo.
Ugh, Chris!
Sorry. Ooh, what's this?
The second test was that books written after the first generation of Jesus' followers were automatically excluded from the canon, even if the book looked good.
So all the books in the New Testament are from between 20 to 60 years of Jesus.
But if the Bible was put together by people, maybe they made a mistake. People make mistakes.
Aren't people also capable of being correct?
Yes, but that's a cop-out.
And what if they were helped by God? Jesus says to his disciples that the Spirit of God would lead them into all truth and would remind them of the things he had said to them.
If you believe in God in the first place.
Which, astonishingly, we do.
Never could have guessed.
I suppose that's another example of how your starting point influences what you end up believing.
Damian, did you just admit what we've said makes sense if God exists?
No quoting me on that, okay? But you've made a good case that the Bible wasn't just cobbled together.
But as with mushrooms, the real proof is in the eating.
That's where I started. A friend told me, you've got to start reading the Bible, not just reading about the Bible.
Well, you know your stuff. You know, it's the first time I've thought there may be something in this whole...
The lupus! I'm told it's very good in an omelette. Sorry!